Here's how I built a 97,000 block castle in Minecraft. I've called this one Smite Castle, and it's a Gothic style castle. It was the first time I built in this style, so it's quite refreshing. The gatehouse is quite standard in shape, but you can use a standard shape for any tower in any castle, and it's how you add the little details which completely changes the style. On these ones, I've made the walls too thick. That way I can add the acacia trapdoors for the windows. On the gate itself, I added this double pointed roof with some acacia fences instead, and a big dark oak shelf door with some dark oak gates as the handles. Next up is the tallest tower in the castle. This tower reminds me of who I am and who I want to become. It starts off chunky and becomes skinny at the top. There's a few different window designs on this one, some requiring the walls to be too thick so you can get that added depth. I could not recommend this tip enough if you want to add depth to any of your builds. Also using a texture pack like this one, which adds the rustic look to glass panes. And now we have the Tetris tower. This one's odd for a couple of reasons. One is that once you see the face on the back, you cannot unsee that. And two, the top sort of looks like Tetris pieces. This was the last tower I designed, and I could not think of any unique window ideas for this big flat face, so I made the wall too thick and just started carving out random shapes and squiggles. And you know what? I think it turned out pretty unique. This tower was a bit of an afterthought. Not the tower itself, but the way it fits in with the castle. Initially, it was going to be connected with some more walls and walkways, but I scrapped that idea and it sits as its own little tower and it's connected with these two bridges. As we work our way up, the windows no longer have glass panes, but use a mixture of walls and shelves. I'm telling you, shelves are the greatest block Mojang has ever added. The castle really needed some bigger buildings that aren't just towers, so I built this big box which sort of ended up like a cathedral, but I think it fits in. It's got this huge pointed roof with the gradient going from deep slate to tough. Right at the top is a line of iron bars, topped with some deep slate walls, dark oak fences and iron bars. We've even got this big doorway made out of more shelves, so the very important person or family who lives here can address his crowd of subordinates below. Now I think this would look a bit daft having this be the exterior of the building, so I decided to add a couple more towers which mold into the cathedral building and then connected them with walls. If you want to use this castle in your own Minecraft world, on Patreon you can find the Lightmatica schematic, the 3D layer by layer blueprint and the Java and Bedrock world downloads, as well as every other castle and build I've ever created. The link for that is in the description. Next up is another cathedral style building, but a little bit smaller and a little bit shorter. Instead of having glass windows on the side, I went for a mixture of walled and shelved windows to add a bit more difference. However, the front and back sides both have the grand glass windows for a royal view, finishing this corner with a couple more smaller towers and the connecting walls. These exterior towers are quite similar to the gatehouse towers, just without the mangrove roof. Now in this gaping hole in the middle of this walkway area is yet another tower. This is a taller, more menacing version of the smaller corner towers, and it really reminds me of something that you'd find in Mordor in Lord of the Rings. The big finale is coming up. I decided to add this sloping walkway to the main castle keep. It's quite an intimidating castle and a villain would definitely live here. So having this sort of entrance where you're walking up to the big looming castle would have you quivering in your boots. And finally we have the huge castle keep. I spent a long time on this bit as it's the most important part of the castle, as in my experience it's the first part that you notice. It has the huge glass windows, the big balcony with the shelf doors again, but right at the top is this, let's call it unique emblem or sigil. In Game of Thrones, the Lannisters have their lion, the Starks have their wolf, and this family has this weird spider crab looking thing with a gold accent to signify their wealth. I went with acacia fences for the windows in these four little towers right at the top for an added pop of colour. Overall, I'm very happy with how the keep turned out. I can't wait to build this in my survival world, and don't forget, if you'd like to as well, check the link in my description. Let me know what kind of castles you'd like to see next time.